What's up, everyone? We're back. Sorry for the delay. Our last game went really long. I meant like OT or something like that, but we're back. I'm still Crow. That hasn't changed, but I am joined by someone new. Replacing Golumola is Sugar, pronounced like sugar. And this is our first time casting together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. This is kind of like my first time getting a taste of some quality in a siege because I mainly cast over in EU, so this is kind of like my first taste of it, and I'm excited to cast with you, bro.
Yeah, plus you also casted Collegiate, which is not necessarily peak competitive. But if I mention any more of that, Taco will get mad at me. But we have another game. We've already decided it is Above the Law versus Stay Safe. And over on the SFCL stream, this graphic is wrong. It's round 2. Mainstream is Above the Law versus Stay Safe. And the SFCL stream is Favelas versus Somali Pirates. So we want to talk about these two teams. They are both 1-0. They both won their games. And there's a lot of familiar faces. In fact, all 10 of these players are familiar. Jolt has been in Challenger League. Morocco in Challenger League way back when as well, joined by Shpai, Badger, and Sheba, who've been in T3 for a while. Sheba, a close personal friend of mine. Stay Safe, Reverse, Wi-Fi, Amp, TPA, and Packrat. Reverse, Wi-Fi, and TPA also having Challenger League appearances. Amp and Packrat also mainstays in T3. So all 10 of these players, very familiar with. They've been around for forever. So I've got high hopes for this game, though I don't necessarily have high hopes for the map. I mean, it's a qualifier. It's a T3 NA qualifier. Already Border, Sky, Chalet gone. 3 fun maps. Fighting the Desk, Theme Park, joining them. I couldn't care less about Bank in Oregon. Very happy to see those gone. However, we're going to Clubhouse.
You sound sad.
I am. Clubhouse makes me sad.
Let me play you a song on the world's smallest violin.
Thank you.
I don't have a violin. I can't even play violin, so...
That's just a smaller cello.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Did you just insult the cello?
No.
Wow.
Cello's better because it's bigger.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Clubhouse makes me sad, although it doesn't make me nearly as sad as Oregon and Bank do. So I'll settle for it. Stay Safe. Start out with a Hibana ban. And I mean, if you're going to take out a hard breacher on this map, Hibana's the perfect one to go. Her hatch control is simply too powerful to let go if you want a hard breacher off the table. Nook being banned as well means Thatcher is still on the board, which means bandit tricking is back on the menu. Nook as well, I mean, just you don't want her up. You never want her up, especially in a qualifier where you're not necessarily all too confident on how the other team plays. Nook is one of those operators who can slot in anywhere. Very surprise-based, and it's a set of nades. So she's gone. Mira and Azami. Mira polarizing Azami again, slots into literally any play style. You know how the other team plays? You don't want to leave her up.
Yeah, no. For Mira, she has a lot of really good Mira setups on this map, especially in bathroom for the gym bedroom site, so she makes a lot of sense. For Hibana, you could ban any hard breach on this map, and you can make an argument for every single one. Hard breaching is uber duper important on this map, and so Hibana makes a lot of sense just because of the hatch control potential as well. So nothing too surprising here in terms of like the operator bans. First site we get to see is gym bedroom. This isn't usually a primary site choice, is it?
No, typically it's downstairs. But Gym has, obviously, Bar is starting to rear its head in the meta as Cash has fallen off. Gym is typically a strong secondary site for some teams, but it occasionally does get brought out first, and Stay Safe are bringing a bit of an aggressive lineup. Mute and Mozzie to hinder that drone work. Reinforcements, plenty of utility going to go down to the Cash side of things. Castle to help facilitate those rotates and keep the attackers locked out as well. And like I said, with Thatcher staying up, that means Bandit is on the table. A little bit harder to Bandit trick the Ace than the Thermite, though, which is something I'm sure Above the Law are going to take advantage of. And with Hibana being banned, that means Impact tricking is stronger now, too. And they're going to play Amp way over by the plat wall side of things, because that's where the attackers are going to be looking to hard breach first.
Yeah.
And they're not checking for it.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. What? Okay. So... This is just awkward. Yeah.
What?
What? Okay, so we just had a really nice opening.
That was
like 40 something seconds. Or over 30 seconds actually, more accurately. But like just got the main wall open for free. No bandit tricking, and instead they juggle the meat jammer instead. That's pretty awkward. And so now CCTV is going to be so much easier to contest. And you got Shapai getting 2 kills from Lounge.
not a third. All right.
Yeah. It's traded out by reverse on top of right. Or top
that
of
was
left,
probably the freest bandit trick I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And he just didn't hear it. That's super unfortunate. So that gives away the wall control. Packrat tried to get aggressive, got picked off by Shpai, who came in through stock unknowingly. But luckily, what you do get back as the defense is that hard breaching, right? Shpai didn't get to do any of that. Badger only has 1 exothermic charge left. And sure, you lose the Lamai and the Mozzie, but your bandit's still up. Yeah. So unless Above the Law are, you know, going to do their due diligence and stop you from breaching that jacuzzi wall, then the bandit can trick, but they're not even going to worry about it. They're going to settle for opening single panel. So jacuzzi is going to stay closed, and the defenders are going to be able to play in short.
Mm. Yeah, they're not contesting bathroom from jacuzzi neither, because they just that's the area of the map that they decided that they don't want to focus on. Mainly their focus is on this east side because they have CCTV cache control. It makes a lot of sense. But even then, with all of this control, you usually like to leave somebody on that jacuzzi wall just to catch out rotations and also make bathroom an unplayable part of the map. Amp gets 1. There goes reverse with a second. And stay safe. Recover around. Despite all that control from the attackers. Like...
I guess shout out to the C4s.
Yeah.
Because that C4 somehow reverse was alive there. So someone walked through the construction doorway, like with the intent of killing reverse. And the C4 from his teammate, I believe Amp, killed the player before they could get to it. So reverse being allowed to still play in the middle of master catches Morocco off guard. And from there, the last 2 attackers kind of stuck in Logi with nowhere to go. So good recovery from Stay Safe after a... I wouldn't say troubling, but not an ideal start to the round. They'll take that first defense and immediately go downstairs because that's, you know, you're going to play gym and you're going to play church. The only question is which one's going to come first. The tertiary site is the real question, whether or not they're going to go cash or bar. They could definitely go bar. It's not going to be strange if they go bar, but a lot of teams still kind of feel safer in and around cash. And speaking of safer, Stay Safe are going to try and make Above the Law feel as least safe as possible. They're setting up that 3-tiered roam. They got the Mute and the Mozzie. They got an Oryx to boot to allow for even more maneuverability, and they want to make sure Above the Law have to work for every inch of this map.
Yeah. You see Above the Law pick a Ying here. That should help them clear out the map a little bit easier along with the Sophia. Not only does that help you clear out the map easier, but it also does help you clear out some of the utility that's set up here from Stay Safe. Though to note, they don't have any deployable shields to clear, so maybe Sophia's impact won't be felt this round. So you only really see her be used for her concussos. But first, right off the bat, we see ATL contest right into garage. TPA stuck behind the soft wall, can't really escape, gets sprayed, but there goes Amp on the bottom floor to find a frag. 2 come out from Above the Law as Packrat finds another, and it's a 3v3 between both teams.
So trades go out. You take out that Ying and Zoe, though, for a Jaeger and an Oryx who have already really used their utility. Sure, they haven't wasted a lot of time, but the trade game probably goes in favor of Stay Safe here. They'll begin to peel back as well, reverse over towards main stairs. Packrat all the way back in strip, playing for a late flank and hoping he stays hidden. If he's spotted by this attack, if they're thorough enough with those drones, well, Packrat's a dead man walking. There's no escape route out of strip. But, I mean, that's... with the way Above the Law are playing, I feel like that's a pretty... them droning this is a pretty slim possibility. I mean, they're starting to open up the barricade by pool. They're pre-firing around the wall like they might have an idea he's there, actually. Maybe a pre-place tipping them off, and they'll spot him for just a second. Packrat getting too aggressive, not waiting it out. Spy will pick up the kill. Wi-Fi in reverse, now left on site in a 2v3.
Yeah. Breach still alive as well, so they're going to get these hatches right on open. First hatch being opened in Moto, soon enough, Kitchen is going to be opened as well. And Packrat not having any effect on or any influence on the roam, at least from Strip Club. Strip Club is such a hard position to sit in anyways, especially if you're droned out, and he was just banking on the fact that ATL wouldn't drone him out. But apparently they did, or they were just aware of his positioning somehow, some way. Hatch gonna get open in Kitchen, so Armory is going to be, well, impact trick a little bit, yeah, failed. And now they get this Kitchen hatch open with 25 seconds left to go. It's 3v2 in favor of Above the Law. Now a 3v1 as Morocco claims one onto the mute reverse. And the last to fall there is going to be the Malusi, all alone inside of sight. The amount of control that ATL had, and also, again, just dealing with that roamer earlier, Packrat really did help them make a execute happen on the Armory site.
Despite the utility being in the favor of Stay Safe, Above the Law still had plenty of good pieces to still formulate and execute, and they really lucked out by how early the engagements came. Stay Safe gave them the fights that they were looking for early on. Above the Law were able to fight the trades out, and ending up with a 3v3 with still 2 minutes left. Still pretty good for the attack, and like you said, just hunting down Packrat there and Strip was just icing on the cake. I really think he should have probably defaulted to site or played way more passive if that was the play. It looked like Above the Law may have known he was there beforehand anyway, probably thanks to a preset drone, but either way, Above the Law will tie the game, and Stay Safe will go back downstairs. This time, they've still got those 2 drone denial operators, but they're bringing a Valkyrie as well, figuring that intel is what was lacking.
Attackers are moving out to locate
Yeah,
the bomb and
but the way that you described it as well, it wasn't really like a lack of intel, it was just them taking gunfights too early. But that can also just be a thing about intel, like if you don't have the intel in order to give you an advantage in those gunfights, then yeah, sure, intel will help you. I just want to see how it turns out in this round though, because Valkyrie isn't banned, and on Clubhouse you don't usually see her banned, even though she's a pretty solid pick on this map. Pretty solid pick on almost every other map too, but on Clubhouse in particular, she's pretty okay. Not bannable though.
Maybe some of the trades that the attackers got were from position that Stay Safe weren't aware of.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they felt like bringing more info. But Amp is going to send a C4 up. It's too early though. The Sledge not moving in just yet. Morocco hopping through the window evades the Nitro cell. So a wasted C4 from Amp. Luckily, Packrat and Reverse still have a couple in pocket. Whether or not they'll be able to use it effectively is another story. TPA is inside of Logi, and the hatch opens up right above him. Still able to get away. No one watching his cross, and will still play upstairs, choosing not to default back to site just yet. The drones will come in to try and confirm his position, though. But here's where the jammers come into play. Packrat with the opening kill onto Jolt. Drone being jammed. Don't know if it quite spotted TPA. Could have before it shut off. Shiba aware, but looks away right at the wrong time. That's Siege timing in a nutshell. Just as Shiba un-ADS's, gets clapped by the Oryx. And now there's another player there that TPA knows about. Badger goes down. Amp, perfect trade with Spy. Both headshots. And that leaves Morocco on his own. 1 versus 4. Against 4 healthy defenders. A C4 still in pocket for Packrat. Roam potential still there. Case in the control of the defense as well. And TPA shuts him down. Morocco's former teammate able to get a 3K on the round and give Stay Safe the lead once again.
Yeah, I mean, Stay Safe just did great time control tactics. Wasting a lot of time on that second floor. Like you mentioned in the early round, or not early round, sorry, last round. They kind of gave up 2 fights way too early. That in that situation, it seemed like they knew when to pull back. If Above the Law droned an area, Stay Safe would move further back into another area of the map, still contesting for map control. And they wasted so much time, like over a minute was already gone by the time Above the Law were able to move in onto that second floor even properly. And even then, they didn't completely clear it. And also, they gave up a lot of picks along the way. They gave up the Ying, they gave up the Zoph, they gave up their not their hard breacher, but they gave up a lot of good pieces to their execution before they even got a chance to really work with the map control that they gained. And Stay Safe, again, just working with that clock, not giving up fights too early, and just finding the picks when they needed it to.
Finding the picks when they need to tends to be kind of the story of Stay Safe as well. They're a team that really relies on their gun skill, and they have it in spades between all 5 of their players, and they'll opt to go back to gym. No tertiary site just yet, thanks to that loss on Church. And they'll set up for more of a downstairs hold, it looks like. Rather than send players over by cash, they have much less dedicated here. It's just a couple reinforcements and Amp looking to trick this wall. There's a mute jammer on it, though, and that will free up the Bandit to get the trick down. Badger not checking for it, or maybe placed so high that the jammer icon didn't pop up. So it's a free Bandit trick. Looks like Badger's going to try again, though, and he's just putting it in the center of the wall, and that is not how you counter a Bandit trick.
No.
Thatcher doesn't work. That's the entire, point of taking Bandit. So now you have lost all of your hard breach.
Yeah. The mute Bandit combo proving to be too potent there for Above the Law, as they can't get that CCTV wall open without a hitch. I mean, but they still get kills for it. 2 kills reversing Shiba or reversing Pack Rat fall, but Morocco is traded back, so there goes some light there for Stay Safe. But even despite denying the wall TPA, what? I mean, come on. He literally, crouch peeked that, saw his head first, but didn't shoot when he saw it in the first place. Just unfortunate there on the reactions. And now it's a 2v3 in favor of Above the Law.
So, bit of a weird defense here from Stay Safe, losing 2 early picks on Reverse and Packrat, and then TPA doing whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
Bit of a Taha miss. Wi-Fi now having to take the fights upstairs. On the site, Shpai has already pushed in, and he's wrapping around towards Jim while the rest of his teammates push in through Khan. Wi-Fi's got the long angle to play with. Instead, he's got pings on 1, but Shiba ducks just in time. Peeks back up, lands the headshot. Wi-Fi doesn't have any info on where the bomb was planted, though. There he goes, finally able to spot him out, but not before he takes a lot of damage from Badger. Both he and Shpai full HP. Wi-Fi needs to win this fight without taking any damage from the sledge. He does get an opportunity to move back into the site, but he can't land the headshot. And Shpai does him in to tie score once again.
Even despite the early hard breach denial and wasting a lot of Above the Law's resources and also time for them trying to get that CCTV wall, Stay Safe just giving up picks where they shouldn't, giving them up early. And that could be like a signal for things to come, especially because if you're giving up picks even with all of the utility that you have and all of the resources that you made the attackers wasted, then that speaks to like a bigger issue, right? Maybe playing too aggressively when you can turtle, swinging when you don't need to, etc., etc. And that seemed to be the case for the most part. I didn't get to see those 2 kills from Shiba, but I assume that's exactly what happened with Reverse and Wi-Fi on Stay Safe for those first 2 kills.
I don't know what the hell they were doing. But finally, we do see the tertiary site, and Stay Safe are favoring Cash over Bar. Reverse now flexing on... Well, I say flexing. That's not really a flex pick, because everyone can play her, but he'll flex onto Alibi. Everyone else still staying relatively standard, though this is the first smoke we're seeing. Hard to believe that on Clubhouse, the first smoke is coming out on round 5. But, whatever. Shpai gets spawn peeked by Wi-Fi. Not how you want to start the round if you're Above the Law, especially Lion gone. That is a great entry pick for the defense.
Yeah. It's gonna make, I assume, actually no, sorry, my fault. Because Stay Safe have not, this is a CCTV cache site, they're not gonna bring any denial, and I completely understand that because usually the attacking team has almost always will get this wall. despite what's on it. But even then, Above the Law have all. What the hell are you doing?
Oh, they're
TPA
rushing.
finds one. Yeah, they're rushing right on in. They don't catch anyone off guard with it. I mean, 3v3. They get Raptors control as well. Morocco finds a double kill, and this round Reverse finds a second for himself. It's 2v2. There goes the Nitro in the default spot. The Fuse kit is actually outside, and Morocco's in a 1v2.
Packrat's able to make his way back into sight as well, so Morocco's got a lot to fight through if he wants to end up picking up that case. Black Eye spotting him the whole time as well, and unfortunately, well, there's no Sledge, no Zofia to open this wall for him, so if he wants to make his way through, he'll have to vault through the window, which is quite the loud sound cue, and both these defenders know it. Packrat starting to move in. Morocco allowed to vault, but not for long. Packrat does him in, and it was a rush play. I respect it. I saw the vision. At the end of the day, it does not work out, and Stay Safe go up 3-2.
Yeah. Unfortunately, losing the line early, especially those stuns, could have been useful in flashing the red hallway. Also, they did really good rushing into sight and also using that distraction of rushing into sight to get Raptors control even, and they had something to work with as well. Just unlucky that it didn't work out. Stay Safe had the numbers. Stay Safe found the trades as well, and also that Nitro cell in the middle of that round from a lounge was really, really good in disrupting that from going down in the first place. Actually, the fuse kit was left outside anyways, but still got to pick and still put Stay Safe in that 1v2 min advantage. Now we get basement here for Stay Safe for the last round of this half.
By the way, a game already finished. X13 already 7-3'd. Well, I think they were PLG. Now they're called Not Weebs. Anyway, back down to Church. Very different lineup coming out from Stay Safe. No more Roam, Turtle Heavy, Aruni, and Maestro coming out. Smoke rearing his head as well. And it kind of sucks for Above the Law, because even though Stay Safe are playing really Turtle-like, Jolt is on Jackal. That's an Eotic one. So a bit of a waste of a pick. Surprised they still went with it, despite the drones probably seeing that there wasn't a lot of Roam presence. And wow, you deserve to die after that one, Pack. I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Average Packrat L.
Yeah. I get the idea. Just terrible execution.
He saw the dude and was like, yeah, I'm gonna rip the C4.
I'm still ripping it, yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. That's it. Not in a good way.
Listen,
RP3.
have you casted Packrat before?
No, not really.
This is a guy who, on a team called Title, used to flank up spiral stairs on Consulate as Smoke with full util and a shield in pocket. I love this guy.
So he just... I got you.
I love this guy. Packrat is so fun to watch. Especially when he does dumb stuff like that. And in doing that, Stay Safe are on the losing side of a 3v5. Above the Law have nades. They've got smokes. They've got excellent execute utility. They still have enough breach to open the church wall if they want. Well, they have enough breach to open pretty much anything. They have a lot of opportunity. It's up to them to seize it. More utility coming in to burn away the Aruni gates covering Moto. Reverse take some early damage from Morocco as well. That is not what you want for your smoke player in Church. Wi-Fi is still playing inside a back arsenal as well because the kitchen hatch is unopened. He's got a nice crossfire into Moto, but it's not going to matter much if he loses a fight like that. Jolt somehow comes away with it. Reverse pushes with the shotgun only to not click, and Amp dies off screen.
Yeah. Even despite having the Smoke and Maestro in place, Stay Safe just couldn't really do enough to win their own individual gunfights inside of the site itself to keep themselves in the numbers advantage, especially the more, well, not this one, this doesn't count, but like the more important one with Joe facing the Maestro in the back of Armory from Moto. Maestro gets that kill, he puts his team in a considerably more comfortable position. But unfortunately, he couldn't really do that. And we see Above the Law even out the score. I mean, it's contested. It's really well contested between both teams. Like, it's not like Stay Safe was like dominating. I mean, you can tell by the scoreline, neither one of these teams were dominating on their own halves. So it's nice to see that.
I feel like Stay Safe should have probably won that round though.
No, wait, really?
They had a freebie on the Iana, they botched it.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi had a freebie on Jolt and he botched it.
Yeah.
Reverse was at
10 seconds remaining.
peak shotgun range and he didn't click. Like they had so many opportunities and they didn't capitalize on any of them. That was
Round of opportunities.
Locate and
a
defuse
bit
the bomb.
sad.
Yeah.
Clearly they do not live in America. Anyway,
It's land of opportunities.
yes. We'll swap sides. Above the law, now on the defense, and they will also play turtle style on the basement, except for this Jaeger, who is in swamp and Stay Safe. Have no freaking idea. This is a freebie. This is a freebie. Shvi, peek this guy. I hate Shapai.
Okay, that's unfortunate though. I mean,
I am a Shapai hater.
Oh, come on, don't say that.
It's already been said.
I can't make him take that back. But I mean, Shapai would want that back. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, just lost his gunfight. I mean, that's it. Pack Rat, I mean, he's kind of lit up at the moment. He took a lot of damage from that gunfight. As we see Stay Safe move in on the second floor. And there's no real, like, any contention here from above the law. Their main strat is just to kind of, like, they had only one player roaming, and that was Shapai, and now that he's dead, that gives so much map to Stay Safe, and they have a lot of, well, I wouldn't even really say a lot of time. Well, yeah, they do have plenty of time to work with in order to get these hatches open. But in counter to this control, we do see some intel on the side of above the law.
Yeah, I mean, I make fun of Shapai for that, but there's also no way he could have known that Ash was there.
Yeah.
So he probably should have won that fight, though. Let's be real. Wi-Fi opening the floor will force the Maestro of Jolt to back off. A C4 misses. Wi-Fi very careful about peeking. It spots the Mozzie's legs, does damage to Morocco, but can't find the kill. That clears Wi-Fi in. He'll start to sledge, make sure there's no one playing over by the hatch. He'll probably make way for TPA to go ahead and breach it. TPA on Thermite, too. That's weird, because TPA is typically an entry player. Reverse, though. The other hard breach dies without doing much. I think TPA just used his breach on the Moto hatch. I think blue hatch was, I may have already been soft. I don't know. Reverse either opened it or he didn't. But either way, at least the second thermite is going to be used on the kitchen hatch. So plenty of hatch control for the attack. Now, they're facing another problem. There's a lot of angles watching said hatches. The nade perfectly cooked, but there's an ADS lying in wait. So they know these hatch drops aren't safe. They've got to pick up the case and they got to go somewhere else. This EMP is going to go ahead and, I guess, disable some stuff, but not do much in allowing the attackers in. Packrat hits a crouch walk, gets one on a Shiba. Jolt insta-trades. Amp has the coverage. Wi-Fi dies. The plant is still going down from TPA. He lifts off to get the kill, but Morocco's right there. He can't get it. Amp with biblical cover using the AR-33. Stay Safe take their first attack.
Man, dude. That's all you can really say, right? Because, like, above the law, I mean, the only thing, like you mentioned, the only thing that Stay Safe couldn't really drop the hatches, so instead they opted for a push that they thought was, like, more viable. And I mean, that was the correct decision. They knew they couldn't really safely drop down the hatches, so instead they try and go down the main stairs, split into Moto, have somebody watch the main hallway for any rotations. One would plant and the other would watch over them. That was Wi-Fi on the sledge, who was watching over TPA as he was trying to get the plant down. Even tried to push in further to get the Maestro before Jolt could have any more impact on that round. But Jolt found him, and I mean, Stay Safe again with the valuable trades, and also just able to get inside of Moto quite easily. There was somebody in blue as well from above the law, but they weren't quite useful in denying that Moto push either. And Stay Safe get one. Yeah, Packrat killed him. So Pack Rat with the huge round.
Packrat hit the freaking crouch walk Ash and actually got a kill off.
Mm.
So that's redeeming himself for the garage C4 mishap from earlier. But above the law, going back downstairs, almost the same lineup as well, only with a Wamai, which I don't think they had. Wait, did they have a Wamai last time? They didn't, right?
No,
Hold
they
on.
didn't.
I think the round is still on stream. They did have a Wamai. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
It's the exact same lineup.
Yeah.
And stay safe. You can see they're reading into it. Packrat is down the stairs. Oh, deals damage to Morocco. Can't get the kill. Now there's a Maestro swinging him, and Jolt takes advantage of the opportunity. Packrat dead. He was a big part of that push. Without that kill in blue, and that Moto play does not happen.
I mean, it's a kill early on as well for Above the Law. Again, they're turtling down inside of basement, not really contesting for any map controls. All 5 players in basement, 1 inside of dirt. Last time we saw Stay Safe push this site, and it's not like a Stay Safe thing. A lot of teams do this. They didn't have a player push down blue anyways, because that wasn't the focus of their push anyways. They were going down the main stairs, drop moto hatch inside of church. So even if they get these hatches open, even if they get these hatches open, I wonder what their push is going to look like without getting dirt control, or if they are going to get it, or what their plan is for that smoke inside of Armory, or Arsenal, sorry.
Buck is an interesting pick too.
Yeah.
Where that's coming from.
I saw that.
I guess that's why. Buck, at least now you have the redundancy now that your sledge is dead, but you're still in a 5 versus 3, and boy, did you need all your manpower to win the previous round. More hard breach charges coming out from TPA to try and breach open this wall, but there's still impact. TPA will finally get a kill for his team onto Jolt the Maestro, but Reverse does pay a price. A lot of HP now off your ace. Morocco also down to now 1 HP. TPA just cannot find the kill on his former teammate until now. Morocco exposes himself, trying to prone peek. Reverse, caught out by the toxic gas. So low that only 1 or 2 puffs were able to do him in. The 2 versus 3, though, not impossible odds. TPA has opened up the Kool-Aid wall. It allows him in to get the kill on Badger. Looking for another in church as the flank goes down. TPA's got to cover as one player comes over by box 3. He's got to watch the other angle, but Shiva's not pushing. He at least gets the kill. The plant has been completed. Amp can play back, but he dies to Shapai. And Above the Law, able to take the round in the post plant.
A good retake from the last 2 players there from Above the Law. Bit of a weird, like, communication distinction, whatever you want to call that, between both Sheba and Shapai. The last 2 players alive there from Above the Law. One of them not really pushing. Both of them actually not really pushing. And they allowed Stay Safe to get that plant down, even though it was a 2v1 theoretically with the sledge. Not sledge, sorry, with the Buck watching over his teammate in that plant. And they don't really take that opportunity well. And they made that situation even more difficult for themselves, but regardless of that, they still get the round. And we get to see Bar. Actually, really, like, out of all, like, the negative things there is to say about Clubhouse, it's a default map. Everybody plays it the same. I really do love the Bar site. It's different.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
It is.
It is.
I like Bar, too. I mean, there is still some interesting stuff you can do on Clubhouse. Like, I'm always going to do this, but I like reference back to like the Parabellum defenses where they had Smoke and Mute roaming upstairs in cash. They had a Pulse in secret calling out the Plat player so the Mute could swing him. It was really cool. So there is still interesting stuff. And then there was like an Alibi playing with a shield in Lounge. It was really weird. There's still interesting stuff you can do on Clubhouse, and especially on this site, considering it's like the freshest out of all of them. We'll finally see a Vigil rear his head as well. Shapai trying to get a spawn peek ends up getting killed by Wi-Fi. The spawn peeker. The only successful spawn peek so far in this lobby. Wi-Fi, obviously wise to the tricks of a spawn peek. And now Reverse able to get that flat wall open. Amp supporting him, carrying that case, but There's no one from above the law playing inside of cache and server. Rather, the only coverage they have is Badger with a C4 from below.
Yeah. You still have a lot to really clear. Badger seems to be very conflicted. Maybe battling with this demon soon in lounge. If Stay Safe decide to pinch him, because there's a lot of different, with Shapai dead, that means that in Badger's position in lounge, that's why he rotated off into sight, finds a nice kill. His position in lounge was so vulnerable, so that's why he decided to just move away like that. There's no real reason to contest it and give away your life for free and then beat 2 men down. Instead, he finds one onto Pack Rat that gets rid of that Sophia inside of that kitchen hallway. And now we see a 4v4 with Stay Safe now contesting for this top floor.
That was a really nice shot from Badger, but Reverse follows it up with a kill onto Morocco to keep the man count in his team's favor. Shiba's still upstairs, but his site players are dying, and he's going to need to come back down and default to help Jolt pretty soon, especially as the attackers are now starting to move on to this site, preparing for that execute. Jolt really the only man to stop them, with Shiba upstairs trying to maybe work a flank or use that vertical superiority to his advantage and stop a plant from going down from above. Amp is still holding the angle, though. Pretty aware that someone's still lingering upstairs. That might give them the go-ahead to just swarm this site, take the 2v1, 3v1 against Jolt. After all, there's only so much he can do with a UMP. Shiba still staying stalwart, not rotating downstairs. As the drones start to come in, I mean, they're going to spot that Jolt's the only one here, especially as this case player, Reverse, inches closer and closer to that bomb site just on the other side of the double door. He is getting pinged, though. We saw the bulletproof earlier. The attack doesn't have anything to deal with it. So there's still going to be info for the defense working for them no matter what. That is until the nade comes through, but it misses. He's going to have to try again. Wi-Fi doesn't have any more nades. Shiba, there it is from up above. Kills Reverse. Wi-Fi tagged up, but Jolt dead thanks to TPA working his way in, and he's the man with the case. Impact goes in from above, but doesn't have the right angle, but he's got pings! Kills him through the floor, and there's no time! They can't recover the diffuser! Shiba opting not to help his teammate downstairs. He knew his team had the info, and missing that nade on the bulletproof ended up being a round-losing mistake.
There was 2 bulletproof, wasn't there? There's like one in stage, and then there was a second. You saw it on like that wall, the wall that separates both of the sites. It was like on the top right corner of that doorway. Yeah, they had 2 cameras, and they couldn't do, since they couldn't really deal with the first one. They knew that was a. Oh, sorry. Since they couldn't really deal with the first camera, they had to readjust their push elsewhere, not knowing about the second bulletproof camera that was still pinging them anyway. So the top floor hold from the visual was still mint. I mean, still pretty good because he still had intel to work off of it. It'd be different if he was just up there the whole round, not helping his teammate on site, but he had no reason to leave because he could still just shoot through the floor and get those pings to work in his favor.
Yeah, really well played to Shiva there. And I think we had to rehost. Yeah, I saw the error message. Connection to game server lost. So we're gonna have to rehost, and that involves having to re-input the score, everything like that. It's 5-4 in the favor of Above the Law now. Their first lead, actually, if my memory serves me correctly. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Stay Safe has been like ahead, and then it's always been Above the Law catching back up. So I'm pretty sure this is Above the Law's first lead.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, I just look at how our defense worked. But I mean, either way, they've won now 2 defenses in a row, and in a game where there hasn't been a lot of streaks, have been very, very, very back and forth. That might just win them the game.
Yeah. Not only was that like a really good round and for the mentals of Stay Safe, but that's also like really troubling for the mentals there of Above the Law. That most definitely is very frustrating to just lose by a bulletproof camera. I know that frustration. It hurts, but
Especially because,
you
like,
know,
especially if you know where it is, and you just
yeah.
have to, you as a team have to just accept that you can't do anything about it. Speaking of things out of our control, Ubisoft and their servers are. So we're going to take a quick tech break while we get everything figured out, get all the players back in the lobby and what have you. So don't go anywhere. As soon as everything's figured out, we'll be back with the action just after this.
To being like the peak soldier for these like anti-terrorist operations, and you're just known as the feet sniffer guy because you track people down. Like, what a fall from grace.
In this day and age, you cannot be associated with feet.
You just can't.
Well, I think feet actually might have helped Spirit in that engagement. They seemed ready for Vazdix, who walked around the corner. Seemed like they were clear of any thoughts in that situation. And now Favelas can continue to brush forward with another player down. That's Ghoul, the top fragger, the smoke off the board. And, well, Vex might as well be next. And you got one player actually on this site. I mean, information, they just have all of it right now.
Yeah, and very quickly, Base found themselves in the 1 versus 5, and it's going to be an ace clutch to win it out. The first gunfight goes against them as they fall back, instantly cut off by the aggression from the sledge. Oh, it's a drop shot as well. To add insult to injury.
I mean, that round, though, you had the yellow pings, you had, like, direct crosshairs centralized on players that were coming right around the corner, like, drones. I mean, that's the explanation that has to be given for that, because, well, I mean, a Jackal's going to be important, but at that point, it is just active drone and passive drone, setting up these flank drones that are really going to win those situations. I think that round is a key factor in showing teams why you need to drone.
Yeah, every attacking round starts with 45 seconds on drones for a reason. It's to emphasize that it's important to gather that information. I mean, sure, from a gameplay perspective, it's also so that you don't just get in sight while they're trying to set it up, but it also means it's important. And just having this information able to relay it, it's why information ops have always been very... what's the word I'm looking for here? Very controversial when they're strong, right? Dokkaebi metas. People always hate it because the biggest thing is that phone starts ringing, the attackers know where you are, and they can start to readjust themselves accordingly to it. It's the same with that Jack, right? Able to get into that position in China where you're waiting for Jaeger to walk through. Even if you don't scan the footprints, just seeing them on the ground, they last 30 seconds. So getting that indication someone was here within the last 30 seconds, and you get to see the little trail of where they go, you have that idea of where they might be. Seen it again.
Yeah, Jackal is having another huge presence on this site. It's going to mean that Jaeger just has to skedaddle back into sight. Spirit opts to actually not follow it, which is always an option. He pings it, which a lot of times is just scaring that actual defender away from where they could be, but just cannot hit the shots where they count. Spirit just trades a little bit of damage with that Oryx, what could have been, but now I think just scaring these roamers away is always going to be a huge thing in the end. As a Ghoul, I mean, 12 kills. You constantly have them running around the map, fearing for their life. You have to call that a win in the end.
And now things slowed down a little bit, right? These roamers over on the far side, kind of undisturbed now as the rotations come through. They're focusing more towards main stairs. Sloppy already being able to find himself
Are we back? I think we're back. Oh, you know why I didn't hear? So, Ferme told me to mute vMix and forgot that he's giving me comms through vMix. So, all good. We're back in. We're doing siege stuff. It's, if you guys didn't remember, it was 3-3 at the half. Stay safe. Won a very hotly contested basement attack. And above the law, won a very hotly contested basement defense. And they just won bar. And they have their first lead of the whole game.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Yay!
5
Yeah, I'm sorry.
seconds to go.
But I mean, that's
Hey, I can tell you are so happy for
Attacker's
them.
objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
yeah, I'm ecstatic. It's nice. I mean, at the beginning, the rounds, yeah, for the most part, we even discussed this before we got back into the game, was that for the most part, Above the Law have been kind of like going, it's been a back and forth matchup, but for the most part, Above the Law have been trying to get back into the game and getting themselves back on level terms. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The game has been like really, really close between the two. I could totally see us going into overtime.
We are, I think, first overtime game of Quals on stream,
Attackers have recovered
at
their
least.
diffuser.
That could be cool. It's a gym defense being brought out by Above the Law. They will end up donning the Frost for Morocco. They somehow avoid that mute jammer as well. I thought that base charge was way too low for that. But no jammer on the jacuzzi wall either. It means that Pack Rat is free to breach, and he's going to end up rushing in. Here we go. Right in and gets dusted by Morocco instantly. So much for that rush. At the very least, Reverse has a trade and is able to pick up the case, but TPA falls in the meantime. The Zofia now tucks herself into bathroom. Reverse another kill on the Shiva as TPA is finished off. He's now hiding in that stall. Amp still hovering outside the breach. Wi-Fi outside of this single panel wall in construction. All 6 of these players very spread out. Reverse taking more damage from the player over by Gold Vault. As Jolt starts to work his way in. Reverse has no support, but he will land the stun on the Jaeger. Now he knows there's someone encroaching on his position. Badger ends up killing Wi-Fi. Reverse now dead. Amp trading. Can't get the kill on the player main stairs. Reverse getting finished off as well, so no more chance for a pickup as Spy has made his way back into the bomb site. And Amp's just not looking the right way, but a whiff from Spy. Almost allowing Amp to turn on him. Quite the whiff from Spy. We've caught 2 whiffs now. But Above the Law still take the round, and it is now 6-4.
Yeah. Round before that, got their first lead. Round right after, put themselves on match point. It's awkward that we probably will see the whiff here. Yeah, there you go. Tasty. I like that. But no, stay safe. Tried to go for
Attackers need to locate and defuse bomb.
just an off-the-walls play. Really ballsy, straight from the jacuzzi wall. Morocco was able to disrupt the one, just couldn't find a second. And then after that, it was just like immediate trades between both of the teams. Stay safe had...
Located by attackers.
I wouldn't even really say a good amount of control because, like you mentioned during that round, they were kind of like spread out all over the place. Everybody was holding something, but at the same time, they weren't really holding anything at all. And they couldn't find a way to use those, to use their positionings and also their map control in order to set themselves up onto site. Even despite having gem control, even despite having somebody holding that construction wall, not really construction itself, they couldn't really find a plant inside of site. I would have liked them to readjusted their spots, maybe. Go for a gem execute instead. Have somebody still in that jacuzzi wall, but instead of having the player holding that construction wall, maybe hold the construction window or the bedroom window instead.
I'm not sure why they didn't just consolidate there.
Yeah, that's
But they're just gonna send it down dirt. There's a player waiting for them. They have a ping. They'll see that he hops off the cam, and Badger peeks right into his death. Packrat a freebie, and on smoke as well. Couldn't ask for a better opening pick as reverse. Now we'll stay down here as the man in dirt, applying that constant pressure to these site players.
That's unfortunate. That Badger peeked like right into that too. Didn't use his smokes to waste time, neither, just instead decided to peek it. And that's okay. People do that sometimes. I know I do it. For sure. I don't care. I just peek everything. And that's why I'm in gold. But anyways, Sheba finds the refrag back onto Wi-Fi. Buck above, or well, won't really be able to do anything above because he's not put down into the dirt. 4v4. And we see, like, stay safe. They have dirt control now with Badger being dead. And this speaks to an Arsenal execute. I feel it in my heart. I'd be disappointed if it were anything else.
Especially with Packrat setting up in kitchen, this should be him trying to open the hatch, but he's actually out of, I just realized, he is out of Selma's. And Wi-Fi probably died with hard breaches in pocket, so you can't go for a kitchen execute anymore unless TPA can work down main stairs and open the Kool-Aid wall. Instead, they're going to send Case down dirt. That's dangerous.
I don't like that.
You almost never see a successful execute with Case pushing in from dirt if there isn't a Monty on the board. They'll start to stun in. Shpai dies to TPA upstairs. Despite the stun reverse not making his way through just yet, he's waiting for the info. He's got a ping on the player behind box 2, but Morocco will back up. Ends up losing the fight. Reverse. A demon inside of dirt. TPA now making his way towards blue, catches Sheba unaware. And despite having little to no effective site control, Stay Safe were able to walk in and get the picks. TPA at least down to finish off by Jolt, but still a 1v3 post plant. A tough situation for this Meister to work himself out of. Reverse is watching his blue rotate as well, so this Maestro is completely isolated off. He's got some pings and info on Packrat. He'll end up getting the kill, but he doesn't look towards main stairs. Amp gets the easy shot in the back, and Stay Safe bring us within 1 round of overtime.
I haven't said mid-round that I didn't like the fact that they were settling for an Arsenal push even despite not having Kitchen Hatch open. They couldn't get Kitchen Hatch open, yeah, because you see it right here. Wi-Fi did have the breaching charges, or the hard breach, the can openers. It's easier to say that than it is hard breach. Whatever it is called, I don't care. But anyways, yeah, see. I told you it's easier to say can openers than that. But anyways, they couldn't get Kitchen Hatch open because of reasons. Because they didn't have any Selmas to work with. I don't know what happened. I know probably one of them was used on the, well, not probably, one of them was used to open up dirt or whatever. But even then, Buck died before he could even get a chance to use his own. They couldn't get Kitchen Hatch open. So they couldn't really do a two-pronged push the way that they wanted to. They couldn't apply pressure, not only from dirt, but also from the Kitchen Hatch as well. So that Morocco would feel uncomfortable playing that close to dirt in the first place. I even think Morocco pushing himself towards towards the boxes that's closest to blue. I thought that was a misposition from him. I felt like he could have played deeper into armory and held across from somebody else playing in blue. Even though I know TPA would have pushed that anyways and probably gotten a kill from there too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you know which number box that is?
No.
That's box 3.
Box 3. I remember that. Thank you.
Yeah. And then the one closer to Oh, hey, our observer's looking. Yeah. And the one right on the B bomb, that's box 1.
Box 1, box 2, box 3. Okay, that's so
Yes.
much easier. I don't know
Yep.
why I don't have that in my
It's like
arsenal.
it's like, you know, like cafe, like cocktail. There's C1, C2, C3.
Yeah.
It's like that. Wi-Fi now on the Buck. We'll see if he actually lives. And he is bringing those hard breach charges. So, you know, very clearly they were for the kitchen hatch. There's still C4 potential right below him. Morocco searching for the footsteps. Pretty sure his black eye has already been shot out. He'll end up using reverse's utility to open the hatch instead. The C4, goes out, but it sticks on the floor. Wi-Fi still dies to Shiba though anyway. And wow, Packrat just runs right over it and gets killed through the floor. Packrat moment as Morocco takes a lot of damage, but not traded out. And now it's a 3 versus 5.
At least Buck was able to do his job somewhat. Got some vertical, got some vertical holes open in kitchen.
Bomb diffuser.
Also
Died
got
with
the
the hard
hatch
breach,
open.
though.
Yeah, he still died with the hard breach. But I mean, he got the kitchen hatch open. So that could help stay safe. I mean, they won this site without getting kitchen hatch open and just pushed down dirt.
Wow.
Badger still dies in that
Ow.
same position, and so now we see Reverse claim dirt for himself. 3v4, still in favor man count wise of Above the Law, but stay safe with the vertical challenges they have inside of kitchen and also their control in dirt. I feel like this could be a somewhat easy execute. The only downside is the fact that Moto is not clear yet, and so if they just drop down, try and plant inside of sight, that could be a big issue for them.
So hopefully no one overpeaks into reverse this time, as TPA has made his way down the main stairs. Meanwhile, Amp still above kitchen, EMPing right beneath him, making way for the drop, and he doesn't die. He's getting the plant down. There's no C4 to stop him. Reverse has the angle from dirt, but he lets it go by.
No
Shiba
way.
denies the plant, denies Reverse the entry through dirt, but it's a 1v1. The trade's found by TPA. Does he have info? 15 seconds left. There's certainly info on him, but he'll peek around the corner, look the wrong way, eat some damage from Shiba, now wrap around towards blue and lose the fight. Shiba shuts down the round. Reverse a lapse in coverage costs his team dearly. And Above the Law take the game 7-5.
Yeah, lapse in concentration there from the Zofia in dirt allowed the Wamai to just run right past her. And, well, the player on the bottom of main stairs, I mean, I don't think he was even supposed to really watch out for that neither, but just unfortunate there from Stay Safe as they lose that round and Above the Law claim. Claim. Help House. And I mean, yeah, not really a lot to say about that round, really, because even despite losing a lot of manpower, like losing the first pick, then losing the second, they still were able to get hatch open. They still were able to get dirt control. But the execution fell short yet again, just because of, again, the dirt player not really paying attention.
Yeah, I think he may have backed off to reload.
Yeah.
And Shiba you got to give it up to Shiba for taking advantage of the opportunity, seeing that there was a hole there with the Zofia backing up and going for the push, ending up killing the planter and Reverse in dirt, attempting to get the refrag. So huge play for Shiba to deny overtime. And with that, we're only actually waiting for a few more matches to conclude. But this was I definitely wanted it to go to overtime.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more. Unfortunately, we were denied such a luxury. But it was still a good game. Probably, definitely a better game than we saw previously, which was like a 7-2. That wasn't terribly fun.
No.
But trying to see what the other scores have been so far, because there are a lot of games have finished. I know Team Mystic White lost like 7-1.
Jeez.
The new EQ, the new Eclectic roster lost 7-2 to Big Fans. Hong Kong Rebels lost to Turbo & Co. 7-3. That's
surprising.
okay.
Yeah.
Riz Academy won their game. Achieve Esports won their game. X13 won. Oh wait, I lied. It was HK Rebels Academy that lost to Turbo and Co. But HK Rebels also lost their game against Abel, who was a Frenchie stack.
Frenchie stack.
Dude, you gotta watch out for Frenchies. Frenchies are built different. LSR won their game 7-0. Who knows? JJ might qualify. That would be cool. Yeah, all the other ones I don't really. Oh, Didn't Ask won their game. Yeah, the other ones I don't really care about. And then you just saw what happened here. Oh, Somali Pirates beat the Favelas. Nah, that's crazy. Natural just beat a Challenger League team. How did they let that happen? All right, well, with that bombshell, we're gonna go to a break. I need time to process the fact that Noah Natural R6 just beat a Challenger League team. So we're gonna go to a short break, and as soon as all the games are done, we'll have round 3, and then we will be back live. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with round number 3 when we have everything ready.
On a double, though, we need 5